Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson are two out-of-work salesmen. Thank you. They're out of work. They apply for an internship at Google. Why do they do that? Because Google must be the best place on earth to work. I mean, it's their dream place. Why wouldn't you want to apply there? I mean, obviously, it's somewhere which celebrates individuality. It's making the world better. We know this because lots of characters tell us that this is what's going on. They know nothing about computers. But, hey, it is very likely that once you go to Google, the Googliness of Google will realise that they're great people, even though they don't understand the internet. Here's a clip.
Come on, guys, let's brainstorm this puppy.
We're gonna put the coffee in the pot and we're gonna let it percolate.
I think it'll be helpful to explore what apps have been most popular in the
Go backwards or go forwards.
Oh, and we could bin it, you know?
Fall out.
Categorize needle movers by type of user.
All right, guys, I don't want to kill the momentum or the mojo that you have cooking, but to be fair with you, needles and categories, they don't use apps. People use apps. So I have an idea. Nowadays, people are taking pictures, right? They have their phones now. They're out. Something catches their eye. They want to take it, but then the photo's just sitting there. What if they take that photo and instantaneously put it out there on the line and they share it with their friends?
That's Instagram. It already exists. It's one of the most popular apps in the world. Facebook bought them for like $1 billion.
Oh, no. Mine is very different than that.
How is yours something very different than that?
Because on mine, you're taking the photo instantaneously, you're putting the photo out there on the line.
Is it online?
Yeah, I'm putting my photos out on the line and I'm creating an exchange.
Yeah, that's Instagram.
When I was watching this in the cinema, before the film, there was a lot of adverts. Okay, I knew they were adverts because they were adverts. And then the certificate came up, and then there was an advert that said, hey, tweet about this online, on the line. And then the film started, and I sat there watching 2 hours of adverts for working at Google. And it was, quite apart from the fact that it was one of the most witless, humourless, vomit-inducingly, horribly self-satisfied, smug, unfunny comedies I have ever seen. I literally said that I have paid money to watch this advert.
Why did you pay money?
Because I had to, because I couldn't get to the screening, the press screening. So, but I was. It's a 2-hour advert saying Google is fabulous, Google is great, Google is. Now there have been complaints about this sort of thing in the past. Tim Robbins used to say, like, well, Top Gun is an advert for the American military. You go, yeah, but it's got some really great sequences in it and some good jokes and a lot more laughs than the internship. It is one of those really strange things that watching it, it's not just that it's a comedy vacuum in which nobody does anything that is even remotely funny ever. It's that all the time the screen is cramming this horrible sales message down you. At no point does anybody raise the subject of taxes. At no point does anybody raise the subject of inappropriate Googling. At no point does anybody raise the very difficult subject about rankings. No, because literally the one character in the film that you're meant to really like and sympathise with actually says, I'm working here because I believe this is making the world a better place. And it's not a gag. It is an announcement. It is like saying, here is £6. I would like for the next 2 hours for you to advertise a multi-million-dollar product to me, but don't at any moment make me laugh, because if you do, the spell will be broken. It's the longest advert I've seen in the cinema. It was putrid and awful, and I was torn between being bored and angry in a way which finally manifested itself in something approaching a catatonic stupor.